We can take you now to Ramallah. I am joined by Ambassador Husam Zomlot, who is a senior foreign policy advisor to President Mahmoud Abbas's Fatah movement. Thank you for being with us. Can we start by talking about leadership? Because President Abbas has failed to end the occupation. He's failed to deliver a credible peace process. And now we see the streets filled with young, disillusioned, angry men mostly. Is it time for a review of senior leadership?
Well, this is seriously a time for leadership in our side, a time for leadership in the side of the international community. I just heard the so-called mayor of Jerusalem talking on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in East Jerusalem. The man who spent his entire career making sure that these hundreds of thousands are not part of any democratic process. They don't choose him in a very undemocratic process. A man who has spent his entire career suffocating them, sending illegally colonizers amidst their very crowded towns, making sure that they have nowhere to go, confiscating their IDs, depriving them of any shred of hope for the future. And he comes and talk about them today when their kids and children are being slaughtered in the streets of Jerusalem without any investigation or anybody being brought to justice. Number two, this is for you, ma'am. This is for you, Lucy. By what law do we call him a mayor of Jerusalem? By the law of democracy, I tell you, he was not elected by the hundreds of thousands of people in Jerusalem, the Palestinians.
By the
law of international...
But if we could move on from talking about the mayor, what I'm asking is what the Palestinian leadership is doing to try and connect with these angry, disillusioned young men who feel that there is no leadership, who feel that there is nothing for them to believe in.
Lucy, the Palestinian leadership has spent 22 years investing in every possibility for peace, offering Israel 22% justice for us, 22% justice for us in exchange for 100% peace for the Israelis. We recognized Israel. We accepted to go for a compromise. We then engaged in a peace process for many, many years. We adhered, committed to our responsibilities, including the protection of the occupier. Have you ever heard in the mankind that the occupier demand protection by the victim? We did it. We went then to building our state institutions, and then we went to the internationalization of our cause and the UN. And in all these periods, all what we have seen is the quadrupling of settlements and colonies, illegal under international law, a war crime. What we have seen is the suffocation and the siege laid upon our people, the murder of our families and kids without any rule of law. Not one case was brought back to justice. He just referred earlier about Europe and will Europe accept this? Will Europe ever appoint a defense minister who comes and say that he knows personally the people who committed the crime in Doum Annapolis last month, burning an entire family to death, and then he says that we are not going to arrest him because of national security matter? Let me say this, Lucy.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've spoken to young Palestinians who say they're not getting any leadership anymore, that they feel that they have no option but to go and stab people. They need someone who can connect with them to show them that there can be a way forward. Who is that voice at the moment?
No, there are voices, and the Palestinian president spoke yesterday to his nation. He touched the heart of every Palestinian. He spoke as a father and he spoke as a statesman, and he told his nation that our rights are enshrined, are inalienable, and we should go having the morality and legality with us ahead for our freedom and dignity and liberation. The question here is about this whole coverage. It all starts with Palestinian violence and then Israeli reaction, as if we wake up in the morning, Lucy, thinking about violence. This is not about 70 years of denial, of wholesale murder, of industrial scale deprivation of our people. This is not about that. This is only, when it comes to Israel, it's about security. And when it comes to us, it's about violence. It's also about you, Lucy, and international coverage. Let's set the record clear once and for all. We, the Palestinians, are fighting for our life, for our existence, for our freedom, for our dignity, for a home we can call our own, for a passport, for an airport, for some sort of equality, for our youth not to do what you are saying, but to go and be part of the international IT sector. And we have the most youthful, the most productive society. But you should ask the question, what Israel is fighting for? What is it? It's fighting for its colonization, for its occupation, for its racism, for its absolute annihilation of an entire nation, for the denial of our right. They are fighting, Lucy, for their privileges. They earn $38,000 and we do less than 2%. Gaza is home to the highest unemployment rate on earth.
We hear
Gaza
what
was
you're
advised
we hear
by
what
the,
you're saying.
So you tell me, Lucy, the Palestinian leadership that has invested in every corner, that has tried every trick on the book, and always comes back to us that we are not doing enough.
We hear what you're saying.
We
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have limited time, and there is one thing that you do need to set the record straight on that you can for us today, because the mayor of Jerusalem was talking about the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and we've heard Palestinians say this is a real red line for them, access to the mosque. And the mayor of Jerusalem said Palestinian leaders are spreading lies about access to the mosque. Can you please clarify for us what your position is and what you say to those who believe that you are spreading inflammatory lies?
What lies? I mean, these are decisions by the Israeli government.
That they do not want to change the status quo. He absolutely said to us, we do not want to change the status quo.
That's nonsense. They have been saying this about our mosques elsewhere. In Hebron, they said about that. We have the Abrahamic mosque, and now go to the Abrahamic mosque. It's a mosque. It's a place of worship for Muslims. Now they have divided it between Muslims and Jews, and now it's a source of tension and mayhem every other week. And they want to do the same in Al-Aqsa mosque. This is a mosque. No Muslim should go and enjoy time in a synagogue. Places of worship should be respected, should be adhered to, should be provided sanctuary and protection. And the Israeli government keeps sending its personnel, its soldiers, its extreme wing government in a macho show to hurt Palestinians, to provoke them, to tell us that they control every breath of air, that even the most sacred places will be annexed, will be taken. It is seriously the one issue that Israelis know how sensitive it is, and yet they keep pressing the button. You know why, Lucy? Because they want you to interview me, not about our rights, not about international law, but about our violence, because they are not comfortable in the arena of politics or diplomacy or legality or the United Nations. They want these scenes to be seen worldwide. They want you to spend time not about their mushrooming phenomena of colonies in the West Bank. Is it frontline when they confiscate 10,000 dunams in the West Bank? No, it's not frontline. Do we bring the Israeli justice?
I'm so sorry, we do have to leave it there, but you have had some time to share your views, and we do appreciate you joining us from Ramallah.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.